Hey, welcome back to Smart Poker's YouTube channel. This is our HumpDazed and Confused show where we like to just hang out, smoke. It's pretty informal. We don't even go around the horn and introduce or where you can find us. We just like to jump right in, chill out. I got a big buckhorn here ready to blaze up. And what a hot ass day. It's 100 degrees here. So it's nice to be in the AC just chilling.
Literally. Yeah, hot and heavy here.
It is, man. It's oppressive.
A little bit, but it's nice to be chilling with everybody here on this awesome HumpDazed.
Yeah.
Smoking a buckhorn.
But yeah, rolling one up now.
What's up, Puffy? You got your let me get your screen up on the thing here. I see I like to watch the progress here. And yep, there you go. Your spirals are getting fatter.
Yeah, they're starting to fill in. I mean, not really. I'm not really impressed by them by any means, but
how much time we got left on those? You still got a ways, huh?
I don't know. They say like 70 days, but that's
just by looking at them, it looks like you got like 30 days left, man, or more, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But they've been starting to get big.
Yeah, steadily building. So if you got that for you, they stack for another 30 days. You might have some nice fatties sitting there, you know?
Right.
Palm palms are usually a good indicator.
Out for the season.
Yep, that's what you were saying. It's nice to be able to shut it down. And
gonna have to, man. I can't afford the electricity.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I'm kind of glad on a hot day like today that we don't have a grow going. Although, Smart and I have been crying a little bit. Like we're kind of in withdrawal.
I bet.
Already with no growing.
It sucks. I want to shout out the chat. Weed Nerd, what's up, buddy? Sherry Mills, Crispy.
Hanging out,
smoking
a buckhorn.
Anybody wants to jump in, show their garden, whatever, go for it.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of odd. This will be the first time that I've shut down since I started growing, since it became legal here. So
yeah,
odd not having something going on every day and in here, feed and just the few mothers that I'll be having.
I know when I wake up, man, I'm like, the first thing I think about is dehumidifier, temperature, and I'm like, wait, right? there's nothing going. Never mind,
But it's just a habit,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like whenever you get out of the hoosecow, your first couple of weeks, you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I'm not in jail anymore. Yeah. And it's like, that's how it's a little different with this. I guess it's, but I like that. I wake up some days and I'm thinking, we don't have to battle the heat, but it sucks. Like you said, if I could be in the basement, it'd be a lot nicer.
I know. We have a good setup in the basement. We just can't set it up for smell.
Okay.
So our whole house would smell like dank, which I'm perfectly fine with. And I wish we could, because that would be, that's how I like to roll. I actually like the smell of some, like 99% of the plants we've grown. I really enjoyed the fragrance and thought if I could wear this if I could wear it like a perfume, that would be super. If I can have it like an air freshener.
You get to find some strains that are more floral smelling, Not really that really dank stuff, but that kind of the floral smell, and then you can grow it and not have to worry about the smell. At least not so bad.
Right. Weed Nerd says, I can't seem to be able to stop. I keep taking clones. He got a sickness. It's like buying seeds and shit. Some people just, that's how it is.
And it's summertime. How it is, exactly.
Because I know he's like us. He's probably thinking it's summertime. I shouldn't be taking more clones, but here I am taking clones,
I understand the drive behind that, because it is interesting. It's a lot of fun too. I think that now that we have dabbled in that, the next time I'm going to want to do it, just even if it's just for practice, because, I'm probably not as comfortable as I want to be. But I think after like 400 clones that are successful, it'll become second nature where you're just like, it'll be odd to not
That's what
have
someone
it.
was saying, to have them ready.
Thunder Dan said that, you'll do so many. Weed Nerd 2, I think, had mentioned that you do so many, then it
becomes weird when they don't take.
When they don't take, then it's an odd thing.
Especially for you.
You probably feel like that too, Puffy. You take a lot of clones.
Yeah. Well, I've been taking them for so long that, like you said, if they don't root, then I know something's up, because pretty much everything that I take will root, especially within 5 days. Like a week, I'm already usually putting them in solo cups.
Right. Hey, I wanted to take a second here. I know we're just starting the show. Maybe we'll mention it a few times, but after this show, at 9:00 on Instagram, Dr. Coco is going to be doing like a live broadcast. I just heard about it, so I don't really have all the details, but it's going to be on Candied Amber Farms. And it's Candied Amber Farms
on Instagram. Her live, she's going live, and Dr. MJ Coco from Coco for Cannabis is going to be a guest, and that should be a lot of fun because he's always sharing awesome information.
Stop by and check it out.
Yeah, we're going to head over there after the show to check out Candied Amber Farms, her live Instagram, and maybe before then, if you have like an extra minute, you can go over to Coco for Cannabis and sign up for the Growers Love giveaway.
The lover of the grow.
Yeah. For those of you who love to be winners and growers and
Matt must be kicking your ass. You can't
yeah, it's pretty good. This buckhorn's doing its job.
It really puts a wrench in the advertisement part of the show, doesn't it?
Let me try that again.
No, that's good though, because like we were talking before the show, it's a good light, and it's nice to see people be able to go there and throw your hat in the ring and get something, it's worth really a good light. It's more than just a dollar amount. You're getting a great light for your space, good longevity. And so sign up for that. Check out the Instagram on Candied Amber Farms. But
I do want to say that if you've already signed up for the Grower Love giveaway, you can go back because they have more chances to win. They just added, I noticed, and you can head on back and get yourself some more opportunities to get in on that sweet deal.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of times a week that they add new actions in.
Yeah,
I know it's at least once a week, but I think it's 2 times a week they add new actions in.
You can be a grower lover.
Yeah.
Can you type the chat so I can see how it's spelled? Rowdy wants you to type CANDIED AMBER FARMS.
Maybe I could.
Candied Amber.
Yeah, just like candied yams, man. Candied Amber Farms. Amber like the color, and farms. I can try and like maybe find it here.
Yeah, I think we can go over to Instagram and you can share that.
Share the screen. But anyhow, Crackbait said he also, not only did he take clones, he bought some seeds too. And I was down there looking at our seeds and thinking I wanted to try some of these or some of those. We never got to finish some of our other ones that, so I'd like to try some of those up again. Let me see.
Which, they would be, those plants would be going into flower. We'd be dealing with the heat. But I wonder, growing in one tent, pumping the AC directly into that tent, I wanted to really see how that was going to pan out.
All right, I'm going to share the screen here. I don't know. Can you see that, guys and girls?
I can.
You can see it, Puffy? It's Candied Amber Farms right there. I got it up on the screen. Hopefully the people on YouTube, Rowdy, can see it. And I believe she's married to Space Mint Grows, which is somebody else I also follow. And I would recommend if you like to get good scientific information, the dude's very knowledgeable and he always brings good shit. So I like to shout out other people that I think are spreading good knowledge and pretty selfishly. But yeah,
it
there
should
it
be a
is.
really cool show, and you can go over and check that out. Maybe subscribe. I'm not sure if they have a YouTube channel, but I'll be checking out that later. So, but yeah, if anybody likes,
was there a topic, or are we just going on to
you know what?
hang out and chat?
Matter of fact, let me go back and we will go to Dr. Coco's page and we'll see if we can find it. I was just going to shout it out, and here I am. I guess we ain't got much else, but that's right here. Let's see if I can get to his. There we go. Let me see if I can over here. This might be tricky. I'm going to have to share it and go through the Instagram stories. Okay, let me share this. Can you see that? Right there it is. One more time, I'm going to switch it right there. So you can see it. Join us tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 Eastern, with Candied Amber Farm on her Instagram Live. It just says Home Grow the Communities. I think that's the name of the show. I think it's cool to, share other people's shows and shit.
Yeah.
You can go there and build a community.
Plus, it's always fun. Dr. Coco is awesome, giving, handing out the grower love and the free education, helping us become better growers. It's you can't go wrong with that. Does wonderful things in the community. I always like to give him a shout out because the man's always busy, and he takes the time out to spread that grower love.
Shout out to the chat, Teddy Sidesman, the American one, Rowdy,
420 TV,
420 TV.
If anybody wants to come on and show us your garden, whether it be your cannabis garden or how your tomatoes are growing, or if you got like sunflowers or roses, or you want to share, come on down.
Nobody wants to go outside today. It's too hot.
It is too hot,
it is really hot.
I actually thought more people would be showing up here to hang out because, everybody's just like hiding in the AC maybe, but hey, maybe they're around the pool, so I don't blame them. It's perfect evening for that.
It is.
Or cutting your grass or whatever if you want to wait till the last, until the sun's going down. I did mine this morning when the sun was coming. It was still wet from the dew, and I didn't care. I was thinking it's going to be way too hot. I should have did it yesterday. So
that's when I did mine yesterday morning.
But it was nice because it really was. It wasn't even 80 degrees at that point. No. But it climbed up there pretty quickly. By 10 a.m., it was already 80 here.
Not cool.
It's not. We don't get that kind of weather too often. We're lucky, but boy,
100 degrees, no, and it's muggy. Like you go outside, you can't breathe. It's like shit. You have to be in the water, man. That's where I might end up.
420 TV weed core. I pray for your safety. Watch out for those tornadoes. You got tornado warnings where you are. I know, that foul weather isn't fun, but you get these hot summer days starting, and
I noticed
those weather conditions come together.
I noticed people coming through Coco for cannabis the last couple of days with their plants being cooked, man. And they were talking about really? What's going on. And I noticed Professor and a few other people saying like it's overly, it's just too damn hot. So it's been a lot of people recommending putting just a shade cloth directly, a small one directly above your plants for that high noon, and it can be just like a white cheesecloth or something like this, something to kind of dampen down that heat a little bit, because it can be too much for them, man. You know, we try to put them out in the open when they're outside, and sometimes it might be too open. And I know it doesn't seem like right, but it, you know, they'll survive it, but it just sucks. And I think the weird thing is that there was a dude last year, was that last year, the year before, that was doing it, and he was there every day, regularly updating. And I watched it go through this, like his plant did a lot better like that, you know. And he was able to take it down. Like it wasn't even all, it was only up for like a month. I think he was able to take it down, but I noticed that it was a big improvement. His plant looked a lot less burnt and crispy, and you know.
Yeah. There's a good crispy and a bad crispy.
Yep.
I'm a little of both.
I was wondering, it looks like our connection's buffering. I don't know if they're getting a little break in the action or not, but I just noticed it said buffering. Cheers, Jeff Papalia. Nice to see you stop by. 420 TV says, I feel weird chatting on this account. I'll be right back. There's Z06 Super Vet. Nice.
Yes, it's good to see all of you folks here today on this hot summer evening.
Brew City Synths. I would recommend, if you didn't recently watch them, Brew City was on the Eagle Garden show, did an interview. It's a pretty cool show. And
awesome job.
I have to be honest, I still haven't finished watching Brew Cities. We started it and never finished it.
Hey, maybe that could be on tonight's
agenda. Yeah.
You know, because we're hiding out in the heat.
And that's been like a month or two now. So I feel kind of shitty saying that, but definitely.
Yeah, go check it out. Give her a like and subscribe to her channel, and check out fucking Talking Shit with Eagle Gardens to catch that show. I'm not sure. I can't even remember the number. I'm so sorry. But if you want to post that, yeah. Because doesn't he have it broken down where you can just hit the episode?
I think it's heading that direction. Okay. I don't know if it's fully set up yet. But yeah.
Yeah.
Time does fly on that show, man. You start to talk, and then before you know it, you think, oh man, what am I going to talk about for an hour or two? And before you know it, it's like 4 hours has gone by. Eagle's really good at like pulling information out of people. You know? He kind of gets you to talking, and he always works the conversation in a good direction, makes it for a good interviewer, you know?
Yes, he sure does.
So if you haven't been on that show, I would recommend you guys go check it out for sure. Oh, Teddy's asking if those are auto flowers. I think, yeah. Are those auto flowers?
Yeah. They are autos. Those are the mimosa cakes.
For the spring auto flower challenge.
Yeah, part of them. The other three are on the left, and they're almost twice as big. I'll go back over to them.
Hey, that Teddy's on there in the chat. And I've seen this. I brought this up on the show before. I buy my seeds. We buy our seeds from msnl.com or marijuanaseeds./NL. I don't know how the hell they do it, but if you type MSNL seeds into Google, it'll come up. Or there's a link below in the description. But anyhow, he's saying that, have you seen these strains that come with the word fast attached to them? And I noticed that, like we talked about this before. If you go over to the MSNL, you can buy
the fast.
I don't know. I'm just going to throw one out there. For example, Blue Dream. Say you can buy Blue Dream regular old auto flower, or you can buy it in a fast auto flower, which isn't. Or I'm sorry, a fast photo period, not an auto flower, just a fast photo period. Then they have the longer strains, and I'm thinking, like, I still don't understand how you can do that. I feel like it's got some auto flower in it or something, or how did they shorten the flower time in those ones? Is it a gimmick? You know, what the hell's going on there? And like he's asking, do you think do you think that that changes the terpene profile, because you realize things take time to synthesize, under the 10-week, 8-week flower period, whatever. So if they're getting them down to 7 or maybe even 6, I'm not sure. Does it have time for all those terpene profiles to come out, like say a normal Blue Dream or something? I don't know these answers. It's just shit. I was sitting here, as soon as I saw those, that's when I started questioning shit. And, wondering how you could breed that into it. I guess in my mind, I guess you could just take the auto or the photo period females that flower the fastest and breed with them.
Yeah,
the ones that finish quick, and then just keep doing
Yeah.
that over and over or some shit.
I mean, that makes sense.
That'd be a good question, but maybe someone in the chat knows. I don't know, but that's good shit. It makes for good food for thought, So yeah, shout out to Brian 420. I don't think Doc will be on the video. It'll probably just be his Cocoa for Cannabis symbol. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just assuming.
Now, wouldn't that be a
he's
treat?
not gonna
Like,
show
one
anything.
can hope. Now, maybe we have some hope. Maybe we will see him
someday.
So, tune in
One
because
day.
maybe today's the day.
Someday, I
quit
think.
his day job.
Yeah, he has a pretty separate life there that he keeps, and I know he values his anonymity very highly based on that. So it's I'm curious, someday I'm sure it's going to happen, and we'll wonder where it'll be or when he'll decide to do it. But yeah. I think, there's people out there that have met him at different things, like Roadcast put something on, I think he went to, and met a bunch of people. And he said it was funny that people were like, "Oh man, you're Dr. Coco. This is not what I pictured you to look like," so it's funny. Teddy just realizing that you and I are a couple, crispy.
Oh,
and we do the show together.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's a gnome. Yeah. It's nice to grow with her, Teddy, because anytime shit goes down, it's bad. I always blame it on her. It gives me a fall girl.
Hashtag blame it on Crispy.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes I am to be at fault. I'll never forget the one time that I forgot. Now granted, it was 3 a.m. We were auto watering by hand. We didn't have the auto for
it's called Smarto watering. I do it by hand.
Watering. Well, we needed 1 mill a night, so it was my shift, my turn to do the duty, and I forgot to turn the fans back off, because I would turn the fans down so I could get in there and water without it. Like, it's pretty loud, for most of and so that was my regular deal. I'd turn the fan down, water the plants, zip the tent back up, turn it back on. And how many hours? Like maybe 6.
Yeah.
6 hours later is when we discovered that I forgot, and it was raining in the tent. Literally, like, it looked like I took a bucket of water, like a gallon bucket of water, and just threw it up against the wall. I couldn't believe it either. I was like, I could not believe that they created that much moisture just in a 6-hour time.
Yeah.
And they were in flower, and we had mold.
We're not the first ones to do that, though.
But when you do something knuckleheaded like that, and I was like really kicking myself in the ass. At that point, I made a sign on the door so that I would physically see, did you turn the fans back up?
Yeah, I just stared at that sign for 6 months.
I'm like, it never happened again, but I wanted to make sure, because I thought, now if we get mold and all this hard work, and that is just, everybody, it's heartbreaking, when that happens.
It happened to me in my veg tent, my 4x4 veg tent. So it really wasn't that bad, but yeah.
It sucks when you realize that you made
Yeah, there's water running down the walls. Like, oh crap.
It was like,
fan on.
Yeah, put the fan on, do what you got to do. And we did. We recovered and got it up and running. But I was like really scared. That fear, for like a week later, it, dissipated, and I, started feeling better about it. but that just, we ended up getting mold,
No, we ended
We
up
did
not
not
getting
getting
mold.
mold
We
in that
skated on
tent.
that one.
but we got, in the other one, in the other tent, we did get mold.
Yeah.
But still, you got to prevent from that. And I was like, well, let me just throw a big bucket of water in here.
I've done shit. I've already mixed a whole reservoir, throw it into the rotation, and I totally forgot to pH it or whatever, And here I already watered 2 times with it before I realized.
Oh crap!
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, because usually I know if I mix a batch up, it's good for a little while. When I hand watered, I knew, I could I could throw a couple on before I had to test it, really tested it. You know how it is, so I was like, oh shit. And then sometimes, with the cocoa, they would be all right. They wouldn't really affect them. But there was other times that I did shit where I'm not even sure what I did, and I just know that something was going on. And I looked at her, I said, I must have either doubled up on a nutrient or missed a nutrient. And she's like, yeah, that water looked a little weird or something. So sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not even really sure what the hell I did.
Yeah, we had a few ideas. Like, we have made mistakes. You do things when you're tired, or even back when we did.
I mixed up a wrong week's newts. Like I should have been on, the following week, and I was, on the week before.
Oh yeah,
that can easily happen.
I was like, why are my plants looking like that? They're hungry.
Yeah, if you're using it depends on what time it is, but that transition's important too, man. That's where I usually run into problems.
Yeah. But well, do it the way that I do it, and your transition will be fine. You won't have that.
We did
on your EC.
Well, I mean, with the autoflowers mainly, that's where I always run into problems.
Oh yeah.
Especially if I run 4 different
I really
strains.
didn't run into any with mine. I mean, maybe
you pretty much got lucky. They all started flowering at once, huh?
Yeah, all at the same time. Well, actually, the 3 that you're looking at now started at the same time, but the 2 mimosa cakes started like a week later.
That's what we always said. Like we would always have, like, we would go with the majority. Once like 2 or 3 of them started really showing, then or a strain that if I was really excited about one strain over the others and it started showing first, boom, we're going right to transition. The other 3 will just have to fucking deal with it, or it would be like
it seems to work because
you kind of forcing them a little bit. It's probably not perfectly optimal, but I've never seen it be so detrimental that it really messed things up. But then again, a couple of times we had problems.
I know. And you know what? Being that there's 2 of us, there are probably people out there shaking their heads thinking, well, there's 2 of them, she should mix for one and he should mix for the others. And that's probably how we should do it. But we're lazy. He'll mix newts and I'll water, or I'll mix newts, he'll water. We'll do like different chores back and forth. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be totally honest with all of you folks. He mixed all of the nutrients for Matanuska Thunder and probably like 90% for Amy.
Did he do a good job?
He did a great job. He did an awesome job because we're smoking that.
How many times did he leave the cap off the
we had like 2 or 3.
Yeah, he did. You know what?
I had to calibrate it 2 or 3 times.
You know what though? Like the rule was when we calibrated them, we sat down and calibrated them when they were new, and he said, if you leave the cap off, the person that leaves the cap off, it's their responsibility to do the recalibration. And I'm like, that seems fair. And I was the first. I was the first one to leave the cap off, and I recalibrated it, and it was a pain in the butt.
But you know me, I'm like,
but then I never did it again, so I'm grateful for that. So far, knock on wood. I'm gonna knock on my skull right now.
I'm such a control freak, though. I have to like stand there and make sure that the calibration goes well and shit. Even though I trust my wife, I'm just like I have to stand there and watch it. So it's like, if she leaves the cap off, I'm on the hook anyhow. And she kind of helps me out with when I do it. So
yeah, it's good to have a double person just looking over his shoulder, making sure those calibrations are coming into line and that we're both seeing the right information.
I've been lucky enough to where I haven't, spaced off not putting the cap back onto mine. So
what I need to do is I thought about, it's tough, but I thought about trying to get the cap onto a string. So that way I have to like kind of hold it in this hand. You can never kind of let it down,
Yeah, what the problem with that is the cap, you have to have tap water in it.
Right.
Unless you're changing it every time, which you do have to change that frequently because it'll get funky. You have to rinse that out and change it.
Glue a string from the outside of the cap to the.
I thought of that, or even like duct tape, a little piece of tape or something around the outside with a string up to the meter with a little piece of tape on that. And then what you'd have to do is take like your pinky and your next finger up to hold the cap. And then you could use your thumb and forefinger to use the actual thing. It might not be the easiest in the world, but it's way better. I think I could get used to it, make it work easier than trying to recalibrate, because Smart like to do his garden when he's high as fuck, man. I smoke a blunt. Then I got to get my head right before I go into the garden. You know what I mean? So
right.
I smoke hard. And then I go in there and I'm like all tuned up. Yeah, I get all tuned in. Then I go in there and I start talking to the girls like, "What's up, ladies?"
I turn the music on and start singing to them.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Smart too.
Show me them fatties, girl. Come on.
Smart told me one time that they enjoyed his music and singing, and that he could feel that coming off the plant.
Oh yeah. As soon as I unzip, man, I unzip it nice and slow. I let them. I like to drink them in as the tent opens up. You know what I mean? I let them drink me in. I drink them in. It's like it's a symbiotic relationship. I talk to them softly. Then because I go in there and I'm checking the airflow, I'm checking the humidity, and I want the girls to be happy, and they see me coming, they know what time it is.
And I'll hear them, "Oh no, Rhonda, you're gonna have to kick it into high gear to keep up with these ladies."
Oh no. But it's a good feeling when you go in there, man, and your plants are all doing good. It just, I don't know, I get a good vibe out of the tent. And whenever there's like mold or something, you can almost feel it when you open the tent. I would start searching for shit, like something feels off here. Maybe half the time I get that feeling I'm wrong, but there's been times where I'll find something, and
it is uncanny because he's already unzipped it. He's run to get me, and he's like, "Come here, right now," and I know something, is not right, and my heart starts to sink already before I even open the door to the room. But he opens the tent, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "What?" I begin to settle down and think, "Okay, you're just being crazy." And he's like, "Look right there." Well, way in the back,
see that?
Like the very corner plant, there's like a small brown spot. And I'm like, "Wow, were you sitting in here like
doing any maintenance on it?" That's where it always ends up happening.
When you see your plants every single day and you view it and you go over all the spots, and I know where to look for these, well, at least I'll say in my tent, every time I've got mold or something, it's always like 4 inches down from the top, right in that nice meaty section of that upper colas is really, so that's where I scan around, and it's like, wait a minute, a couple of days ago, it didn't look like that. There's no leaves below it looking like that, which doesn't mean it's climbing up like a pH is off or something. There's very, very good indicators. That shit scares me. So I go to get her immediately, like, I don't know if it's misery loves company or if it's just like, damn it, tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong.
I take my glasses off a few times and try to clean them off, thinking, what am I looking for?
That's just on my glasses.
But there's been times where
he tells me back quadrants, plant A.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Cola C3.
No. There has been times though where like I go get her and all it is like leaf galls, because I've never had those. Now all of a sudden I found leaf galls. I got pictures of them, we documented them. Then there's been times where we found which
was cool,
a leaf that has like an extra blade growing out at an odd angle you know what I mean, or something crazy. Or there's just different shit that I found, like, I taught 2 plants and realized that one stem is really hollow and one almost is not hollow at all. I'm like, my wife's got to see this. So I go get her, so it's not all bad when I come and grab her.
Oh no.
Because sometimes
he's also come and said, come in here, unzip the tent. And he's like, "Do you smell that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
They finally got some smell to them, but yeah, it's for sure, man.
Mine haven't started yet. they're actually just starting to swell on some of them.
They look good, Puff. Whatever you're doing, taking care of them. I know you didn't train them, man, and
I just do shit to them.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like something in me is like, damn, they should have been trained, but the other part of me kind of respects the natural growth at the same time, I guess. But they look pretty happy, man. I think they're going to do good. You got a ways to go, and they're going to get a lot of light in the next 30 days. What are you on, 20 and 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice lighting schedule.
Yeah. I bet you he got about 30 days left. They'll finish up probably about, where were we at? It'll be before August, I think.
Oh yeah.
Before August 1st.
Oh yeah.
We're only like halfway through, huh? Yeah, so that would be more like
every
6
day,
weeks.
Past few days, every day I've come in and to feed them and everything, you could tell that they're getting bigger. I mean, you can actually notice you'll notice the growth on them. So I think they'll finish up pretty nice. I mean, there won't be a ton of it there, but it'll be should be good.
You like growing autos?
Teddy says discuss lighting.
I'm not a fan of autos, but I'll do it. I'm not scared.
Well, we've done 20 on and 4 off. We've done 19 on and 5 for autos. We've done like 24 hours for a good portion of a grow without no lighting schedule. We just ran it. It was dead of winter. We wanted the warmth. It really helped out. And
personally, I think if growing autoflowers for some reason, and I don't know if science backs this up or not, but I think giving them 4 hours of darkness does something good for them. You know what I mean? It gives them time where they like to rest. I don't, it doesn't really
for my wallet.
Yeah, that too. Now
why I do it. I mean, the 4 hours that the lights are off is the 4 hours. Well, pretty much here, about 4 hours that it's the hottest part of the day. So I have them turn off.
Hell yeah, that's exactly what I would do. It'd be like noon to 4.
That's exactly what it is. Noon to 4.
That's what I always did. Noon to 4 was like the hottest time. Our friend goes by Polar Bear on Instagram, also known as Newt on Cocoa for Cannabis. Shared with me probably about a year ago, maybe or so. So I don't really have it on deck, and so I might say it wrong. I think it was Royal Queen Seeds that did a study on lighting schedules for their autoflowers, and they found that some strains that they were selling, I guess, yielded better and terpenes as well as weight, and all that was better under 24 hours of daylight or 24 hours of light. And they had a pretty decent looking study. I mean, I'm not the study expert, you know what I mean, but it looked pretty legit, and they weren't recommending it for all of their plants, just some of them. And I thought that was pretty cool, and it was a good point of interest, or how do you want to say it? Like some people don't want to do 24. I'm one of them. I don't like 24 hours a day. I would rather do 18 and 6. I'd rather go the other way and take an hour or 2 off. 19 and 5 was awesome, man. I think they really liked that.
They did pretty well.
And it gave us an extra hour of darkness during the hottest part of the day, and we didn't have any problems. But I'm one in my head, I want to get them as much light as I can, but I feel like 20 is perfect. It's the meaty part of the curve. What do I know about milk and ducks? Other than you need a short story.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you gotta get it real low.
What's that, Puffy? I'm sorry.
You're definitely making sure that you hit your DLI.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. They've always grown big at 20 and 4, never had any problems. And I don't feel like it's been a waste. I feel like maybe at the end of the grow, the last week of autos, like if you can realize you're in there like last week, I think it's good to turn down the intensity and maybe even back it off an hour or two. And I don't have anything to back that up either. It just seems like maybe they don't work as hard. They preserve a little more terps, maybe not as much heat. I don't know what it is. It just seems like there might be something to that, but I never did it enough to really try. For us, it was always trying to get, heat. So I would try anything I can. And I'm thinking they're almost done. They got a week left. How much swellage can they do really? And I back everything off a little bit, and it never seemed to really hurt anything. It's almost like they like it. You run less risk of like foxtailing late in flower because of intensity of light and shit. So, as long as the grow has been pretty good up to that point, and you're real happy with the results, because the last week it's not going to change too much. So, I don't think there's any problem in doing that.
No, it'll help you keep your temps, your overall temps down as well. So.
Oh yeah, that's always a plus. Less AC,
Right.
It looks like the chat's jumping a little bit. Brian 420, Chance Charles, which is O-Dub, our friend O-Dub, old woman. There's PJ Lloyd, all-wheel drive. Cheers, everybody.
It's nice to have everybody here.
It is. I miss doing the Wednesday shows and the Sunday shows there for a couple of weeks, and it's nice to be back.
It is nice to be back. I might go for a coffee run though. I wish I could get all of you a cup too. But I'm gonna take a minute and I'll be right
awesome.
back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Coffee on a 100-degree day. I feel like I'm getting really old. I feel like an old man's drink,
You're right.
What can I say, folks? If you can't beat them, join them, right? We got the doorbell ringing. It is the American one. Good deal. Cheers, man. Anybody else want to jump on?
What's up, Tal?
Come on in and.
Hey, Puppy D, Smart, Poker, Crispy, how you all doing?
Good. Crispy went for a coffee run. She'll be excited to say hello when she gets back.
Cool. Yeah, I just had to take a phone call and do a couple things, but I figured I saw you had the link up. I figured I'd come up and say hello.
Hell yeah, man. It's always nice. This is our time just to chill out, smoke a few dubs in the middle of the week, a couple buckhorns, and talk about whatever,
Yeah, let's talk about. So you guys are back in PA now?
Yes, we're back in Pennsylvania.
Did you pop some more beans or no?
We haven't yet. We've been kind of just
What?
Yeah, because it's so hot, man. It's hard to produce.
Okay.
We decided maybe take a month off here in the hottest part of we got our 1 year anniversary coming up on the 21st. We thought about maybe going away for a few days and a few other things coming up. So we thought maybe we would just, take a little time off and enjoy not having to deal with the extra heat and shit. But we're excited.
Yeah.
She was mentioning earlier, like you said, you was on the phone. My wife was mentioning that we feel we're in withdrawal, man, with not having plants.
Yeah.
I need to be nurturing plants or I don't feel right. You know how it is, Tal.
I know that feeling. Yeah. Since I was a grown up, it was only probably 3 months that I didn't have plants that I was taking care of, cannabis plants.
That's awesome.
And I was lost, dude.
Yeah.
And luckily, what happened was the lady sold the house, and I didn't have a spot. So whatever I had at the time, I just put out in the woods.
Yep.
And it actually did pretty damn good. I didn't get them out there till like August.
Damn.
And there was actually buds on it.
Cool. Yeah, that's a short season for your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, I have pictures of that particular time period, so I could actually see what
Dude, we've always followed since for the last 3 years, it's been us pretty much following the Cocoa for Cannabis grow challenges, So usually you get like a week or two, in between like finishing one and another one. And that little break's always nice because you can kind of regroup, clean your fans, do whatever, and you just kind of get a little break from it. But even then, after like 2 weeks, man, I'm ready. I'm like, let's get them soaking. Let's scuff them.
Yeah.
But
I put them outside July 31st.
Okay.
And they were in solo cups.
Wow.
And,
so they didn't even have a big root ball. They had to root out and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so what I do when I go outside is I'll take them from inside, and I usually either have them in a cardboard box. Apparently, this time I had them in milk crates, you know.
Okay.
But I'll put them like underneath the trees so that the spotted sunlight will come in and they'll get used to it, you know.
Like kind of harden them off that way.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And then I'll
Yeah.
go back a week later, two later, and put them actually in the ground. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Now, when you put them in the ground, and this might seem silly, but I'm just curious, like how I'm sure
You
you
want to
have
see? I
amended,
could.
you have amended
Well, no.
soil. How big? Go ahead.
So I'm so sorry. Yeah, I really didn't have like it's a big long story, but it was kind of a rush thing. So there was only a little bit of non-native soil that I brought out there and buried them in. And yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I can see that there was
like in the ground, or did you do raised
Yeah,
bed?
you got pictures, man? You got pictures.
Let
me make you
sure. All right, I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. I'll show you guys.
I always like seeing the pictures.
And I'll tell you what, the one plant I harvested was just so good. So I should be sharing right now, right?
Yeah, I see it.
So,
I see a whole bunch of. Yep.
There was a ton of them, a whole bunch of a whole bunch of little ones. So yeah, and you can see like these guys right here with the dirt underneath it. That's the that was Doug's Exodus cheese is what I called it. It was DEC.
Okay.
But you see like just a little bit of you see the perlite at the top. There's like only a little bit of real soil that I brought out there.
Gotcha. That kind of gets a little bit of their feet under them. Then you just kind of let them go to the ring. Now, did you do any teas or anything on them, or any kind of top dressing?
Oh yeah, I would go back and I would go out there. You know what? Let me stop for a second. I would go out there and feed them, and I also went out there after every rain and sprayed them. I was telling that story not that long ago about spraying them with beneficial stuff so that the mold didn't take over. That year it's pretty bad, but I was lucky enough to not have to. But yeah, the plants were really little, I got to say, you know, like and actually, yeah, all right, I'm near the end of the season here. I could show you these. That's not the end, but yeah,
you had a bunch of them though, man. You know, you had a and you know that kind of gives you different how do I say it, profiles too. If those are all like the same, are those all clones? Or no?
Those were clones, but different plants are clones. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get different profiles and shit too. You know, you're from inside to outside and stuff like that. It would be awesome to watch. And I do want to get back to the spray that you mentioned. Whenever.
Yeah. So I used at the time I was using advanced nutrients, and I would go out there with tarantula and piranha, which is bacteria and fungus. Beneficial bacteria and fungus. And after it rained, I would run out there. I sprayed the crap out of all of them. Like,
really?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
See, now I'm going to play devil's advocate here, Ty. I saw, was it the Mendo? Not, I don't grow outside. So this is something I read. So take it for a grain of salt. I just bring it up as a point of conversation. I think it was the Mendo Dope Boys or somebody posted one time, and it struck me because it said it's about, I think it was like maybe October, and it was like it's about this time of year whenever all the growers that are growing outside, whenever they see a rain, they get really nervous. And they said if you've taken care of it, everything up to this point, your plant will have no problem handling that rain without any issue. But I know that's not always the case. You know, the plants, if you can't do what you want to do, they can kind of be stressed from and not maybe being 100% health. But I think they're right. Like to some degree, your plant's built to take some rain. You know what I mean? Especially if it's going outside and shit. But
that's probably part. That's part of their. This is what near the end.
Look at the color on some of them ones up front. Holy shit!
Dude, this is the nug of the Doug's Exodus cheese. Dude. That was like, it looks big, but it was really little. I wonder if I could.
It's beautiful.
You can't really see too much, but yeah, it was like I just slapped them out there and went and
that's native soil. You was downstairs getting his coffee.
Exactly.
He put these outside as native soil. And he put them outside. Awesome. This is July 31st is when he put them outside. So I'm assuming this is like November-ish.
No, it's October 1st.
Oh, damn.
Look, it says it on. I guess I didn't take. It says Holbrook Parkland up there. So yeah, I didn't have my location device turned off on that one. But yeah, that's a picture from October 1st. So.
Dude,
Am I still all right?
They turned out pretty cool, man. How was the smoke?
It was good, yeah. And then I didn't even harvest them all at once. It's so bizarre. I had a couple of them got frozen, literally frozen in the ground, and like the freeze came, and I harvested them, and some chick bought it off of me. She's like, "That was the best shit ever."
Wow,
Sweet.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that has, because you see people, that old bro science deal about you dump ice water on them at the end, which I don't know if it does anything, but it froze to the ground. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
No, they were the buds were brown. They were damaged, and I felt bad selling it to her. But she's like, I want it all. I'm like, all right, I'll let you take it. Yeah.
How I often tell people this, man, and I mean this, and it's the honest to God's truth, is that there's been probably 6 or 8 times in my life over the course of my many years of buying buds that I bought brown weed, that was fucking fire, and it wasn't sprayed with anything. Yeah, it was just fire, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was dried wrong, or now that you brought this up, maybe it was left outside too cold. Kind of like if you put your lettuce in the freezer, you know what I mean? It's going to look like shit when you pull it out.
Yeah, but I mean, it held together and everything, and I took it home with me, and I clean. I did everything like I would, but I just figured maybe I'd put it in edible or something. And this chick came over, she tried it. She's like, I want that, whatever that is, I'll take it all. Like, all right,
I got you. Hell yeah.
But yeah,
and that's a good feeling,
dude. Like, that's my point. Was you guys should just go out, throw, sneak a couple seeds around, even if you don't even like go and harvest it, even if you don't water it or anything. Just see if they, just look at them. So you have
just to see what they do. Right,
like a little side science experiment.
I need a compass and a small flashlight, man, and it'll be on. Get out there nice and early. Yeah.
Some outdoor stuff would be fun.
It would be fun.
I haven't done that in so long. I was a young girl when I did that.
You're still a young girl.
Yeah. When I wore a younger girl's clothes, I should say. 40's tough on the body. I know that there's people that are out there that are older that are like laughing, but
I got a pair of skinny jeans. You can wear younger girls' clothes.
I do not have a pair of skinny jeans. I can say that.
No, I don't either. No skinny jeans. They don't even look like they'd be comfortable for me, man. I even see these. I've
never worn them, but I own a pair.
I've seen these jogging pants these young men and women are wearing now. They're real tight at the bottom, the scrunchies, and they're tight all the way up. And then they have like a real big crotch area and shit. I'm like, what the hell? They look like MC Hammer.
MC Hammer, yeah.
Hey,
okay.
They look so uncomfortable too. I'm like, man, because this is the first thing I do is if I wear jogging pants around my house, the first thing I do, and people might laugh at this, is I cut the freaking elastic band out of the ankles so they come down straight. I don't like that thing squeezing around my ankles. And I've always done that, man.
Right.
You got to embrace the bondage part of wearing tight-fitting clothes. Maybe if you took it
like a true sadist.
That angle, maybe.
Have you guys seen the TikTok yoga pants?
I have not seen the TikTok yoga pants, but I'm intrigued.
You should be.
I think I found the perfect birthday gift for my wife coming out.
There you go. It'll be a birthday gift for you too, Spot.
Oh man, that's good stuff. See, you can learn all kind of shit on the Wednesdays.
Yeah, hump
days. Yeah.
Yeah, hump days is for what anything goes. And it goes up in the air, hopefully. In a big smoky cloud.
Hey, we wanted to tell everybody, I don't know if he was here earlier, Tal, and maybe some of the other people in the chat there. Dr. Coco, good friend of ours. We owe him a great debt of gratitude for where we're at in the community and in our grow and just in the friendship he's given us and to, all of us here, I'm sure. So anyhow, he's going to be on Candied Amber Farms Instagram Live coming up at 9 o'clock after this show. So we would like to kind of pump that up for
Send
him.
some people over there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to send them people over there. So it's Candied Amber Farms. And before we go later, I'll go ahead and maybe post a link, or we'll go back and show you guys. My wife can type it up in the chat there, how it's spelled. And yeah, if you're not busy and you have Instagram, stop by, say hello. And thanks for coming to our show, everybody in the chat, and to Tal for coming on. And man, he always has good pictures. The bees, I always tell people about the bees, man.
I love that. That's like, that was so random. It was just, dude, it was unbelievable how many there were. Just mind boggled me. Yeah.
Hey, there's our friend Dog Doctor. I wanted to say that, we haven't missed a show over Cheap Home Grow in 3 years. So that was a really good guest appearance the other day, which he's done a few of them, that Dog Doctor. I love the dog mask, for one. That mask is awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
I always like to see his garden. Everything always looks so healthy. And I like the accent. Dog Doctor's a cool ass dude. And so shout out to him for stopping by our chat. And for everybody else, Marcus Green Thumb and the crew,
Mm-hmm. Oh, automation is freedom is here.
Yes, automation is freedom is here. They always show up and always have a good attitude and shit.
He's a good guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
everybody's good, pretty much.
Yeah. And we appreciate every one of them too.
Oh yeah, Weed Nerd put up the link for
sweet
for that. I can't pin 2 links, but maybe we'll switch them later when we get a little bit later in the show. But hell yeah, that was what was them strains again, Tal? I was trying to think of them. What was them ones that were up that turned purple?
Oh, it was so my buddy got Exodus cheese from somebody. That's what he said it was, Exodus cheese. When we found seeds in it. So I knew it was, it wasn't just straight Exodus cheese, but that purple stuff was seeds from that weed, which was Doug's Exodus cheese. So that's what I call it. DEC is what I had it all labeled when I was
Okay. That's a cool story, how it come about. That's pretty cool.
That was the end of it though. That plant was the last one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of, so you don't know he doesn't know what pollinated it then. Something selfed and he didn't see it, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And so you don't know what the other,
I don't know what it really was, right?
The other influencing DNA in that scenario is unknown.
And considering I don't even know
a neighbor.
I don't even know if it was really Exodus cheese because at that time you could they could have just said it was.
Right.
And I'm over here on the East Coast. It wasn't like, so I don't even really know, but that's what I was told what it was. And I loved it. And that's why I got wanted the cheesequake and, did the cheesequake because it has the Exodus cheese in it as well. So.
Yes.
And, did you see the seeds that I had that got those worms in them?
No.
Did you have that?
I must have showed you guys. Yeah, I did.
Hold on, the seeds that had worms in them?
Well, they didn't grow, and then when I dug them up, there was worms all in on them.
You mean like maybe eating the seeds?
Yeah, come on. I must have showed it.
We didn't see it. Did we see it?
Yeah, I will show you guys again.
How did I miss it?
Yeah, when he shows you, it'll refresh your memory.
Is it on your Instagram?
Maybe. It was. I don't know if it still is, but I'll show you right now. But my whole point is I had this other stuff called Stilton, and it was UK cheese crossed with something else. And I started all of those seeds. Also, those 2 sets of seeds that I started all of them, and I lost them all. And I was pissed about it. And it was because of those worms. I'm almost 100% sure.
Damn, man. The attack of the worms, bro. We always loved the worms, and now they weren't what.
No, they're potworms. Potworms, they're called.
I was gonna say I didn't see them to see what they actually look like.
All right, hold on. Yeah, now I remember. I got a separate folder for them.
So I have multiple questions now, dude.
Well, they're called potworms.
Yeah, where did they come from? One.
It's so messed up. because here we go. All right, you ready?
Did Matthew Gates identify these for you?
Yes, he did. Yep.
Sweet.
And
Like if you had to ask,
I shouldn't even
you
have to
should have
ask.
known.
I guess I was
Yeah.
doing that more to cue the listeners than to get the answer. Maybe.
Yeah, check out Matthew Gates. Since
Here we go.
Yeah, so this is kind of funny, but I was like Googling
What
like,
the hell? Hey, is he holding his butt?
yeah, dude, I don't know where
Oh,
I found this, but yeah, he's scratching his butt, and then he licked his fingers, and then he got worms. But this is
Damn, dude, it was in his perianal region.
Yeah, but this is them. You remember this? Do you remember this?
No,
video?
dude,
I don't think we've seen this.
I don't think
Oh
I've
my
seen
gosh,
this.
dude. But yeah,
That's wild.
I pulled the seeds up, and yeah, this is what I found. And all I pulled up like 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know how many seeds, but they all had these things critter crawling all over them.
Bro, I've never seen this. So you ran this to Matthew, and he told you they're called potworms. So let me ask you this: this wasn't an outside grow; this was an inside grow.
Yes,
correct?
it was inside grow, and it was brand new pro mix, which is why I thought they came contaminated with the seed. But pretty much, Matthew says that it's most unlikely not. So I don't know where the hell they came from. But yeah, there it is. See, like that's a pretty long one right there. And then not baby earthworms, they're potworms. Yeah, they look like.
Do these potworms? Do they feed off of fresh seeds?
Well, it says they feed on decaying matter, but I don't. It looks like they're eating my freaking seeds, and these seeds never grew. So I don't know what.
Or maybe their slime that they leave behind is like not cool for the seeds, or so. You know what I mean?
Look, they're like in it. They're like inside.
Yeah,
like
bro,
inside
that's
the shell.
so.
I pulled that out of the ground. You know, like I dug it up, took it out, put it on the microscope, and this is what was there.
What? So let me ask you this. Shit. What was your next step? You got rid of all that substrate?
Yeah, threw all those cups I threw out. And then I started, I'm not, the only time, when I start seeds now, I'm doing it in paper towels until they get a pretty good, root on them.
Okay.
That's one thing that I changed. Oh yeah, and this was this was a long time ago. I first noticed these in some other plants, dude. You see it right there? It looks like the
I
root
see
tip.
it.
Yeah. That's wild.
Never have I heard of
You
potworms.
see that right
Never
there?
have I seen a potworm. I see that one coming right out of the seed.
Yeah,
so crazy you got that on film like that.
Yeah, and this wasn't no
Awesome.
microscope. This is just like my regular iPhone. See underneath back there? Yeah.
I see it.
Good job.
I see it.
Crazy, dude.
That
Freaking
is
me
nuts,
out, right?
man.
It's skeevy.
It does make me uneasy, man. You're right. That's not cool. Let me go see what the chat's saying over here.
They think it's creepy too.
I guess I can't.
Yeah. So you can see the side, like, yeah, there's my scalpel that I used for taking cuttings.
Yeah, man.
And that thing is just in there, yeah. Oh, so yeah, this is what made me think, and I don't know. This is from somebody else that sent me this video. And this guy just had his seeds soaking in water, and it looks like they has those things. So I'm thinking that.
Wow, there's enough there to move it around.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
dude. I'm like,
dude, that's so
thinking,
disgusting. Like,
it's creepy. Yeah, gross. I agree.
I'm kind of thinking that somehow them eggs must have been in or on that seed, man. I don't know.
And it's like they're eating that seed or something, man. Whatever, like I said, maybe their excrement or something's poisonous.
Yeah, who knows? But I'd have to agree with Bruce that he said that she'd have to burn down her whole grow room, and I would be, I would be like looking everywhere. But that was outside, right?
I got to roll a blunt.
No, this was inside.
Oh, that was inside.
That's inside.
Wow.
Yeah, that's inside cups.
Oh,
Pro
damn.
mix.
Inside cups of new Pro Mix.
Nasty
Yeah,
Pro
new
mix.
Pro
No,
Mix,
no,
so-
I got a bad feel. That leaves a bad hit. I got to roll a blunt.
So yeah, all right. I'm gonna stop screen sharing. Stop skiing.
Oh no, go ahead, man. This gives our show great content.
Crazy.
But yeah,
I've never seen that before.
I've seen. I can't say I've seen everything, but I've seen the most bizarre thing before those was I had termites in live cannabis plants. It was so fucked up.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, Tal, you got bees, termites. You know what? We had earwigs. That was in our outside. It wasn't even cannabis, it was cabbage, but I thought that was weird. Or lettuce. They was eating it, man. Totally.
Yeah.
You know what an earwig is? They have the pinchers on them and shit.
Yep.
I'm thinking that seemed odd. There was like other things around it that they didn't hurt, but I noticed all my lettuce dying. So I spread the leaves. It was a real thick bushel of lettuce there too. And I spread the leaves and I just seen them crawling everywhere, man. And I knew immediately, as soon as I pulled it out, they were like eating the roots in the bottom. And it was just nasty looking, but they didn't hurt anything else, man. When I uprooted that, they were falling out all over the place. There must have been 200 of them.
But it's the only thing that we were growing. We're growing peppers and tomatoes, and they left those plants alone. So we were lucky.
Weird. So
Yeah.
So there was 2 plants out in the woods, and the leaves all turned yellow. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I don't see any bugs on the outside. I don't see, like everyone got all the same treatment. So right at the base there, like a stem, it was all like spongy. I could squish it like a sponge. So I'm like, I don't want this traveling to my other plants. So I took those 2 plants down, I cut them down, and I put them in a bag, and I brought them home. And then when I ripped it open, you could see inside that it was, getting damaged pretty damn bad.
Oh yeah.
And
it looks like it's
hollowed out and dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Oh, damn.
when eventually I got to the I found these little white ant looking things in there, and I didn't know what the hell they were. This is 2007, and I googled it. After about 3 weeks, after about a week of looking through stuff, I saw exactly what they were: termites. Now this is something else. Yeah, this is something else,
man.
But yeah,
must have been like I've never heard of that. I'm not. I guess
that's really awesome that you're sharing, because some of these things are things that I've never seen before, and I appreciate getting to take a look at that.
It was bizarre
because you never know when it's going to happen in your own garden.
Yeah,
and yeah, I didn't think that termites ate like live wood, but they do. They burrow. The baby termites burrow into the roots and go through up through the roots into the plant.
Oh no!
Oh,
it's almost like systemic, man. I think that's
crazy, dude.
That's
crazy.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
Hey, life finds a way, man, to really, get a hold and expose other people's weaknesses.
They got into your plant and were like, "Damn, this is top shelf filet mignon."
The bricks level on this shit, they loved it, man.
That is crazy though, that termites would get into a cannabis plant like that.
I never heard of that, or them.
Quite interesting.
I haven't either.
Yeah, and this is here, I'll show you. This is exactly what I found in my. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, because I was freaked out. Oh, I was freaked out, and that was me. I was freaked out, and I threw it all out. So I don't have a picture of the actual termites that I actually had.
Right.
But this is exactly what they look like, right there.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely.
Definitely.
And they were inside. Those were inside your
inside that stem.
Yep.
Or it was wow. And shit. Dude, that's crazy. I'm like you. I thought they only ate dry wood, like people's houses and logs,
right?
And
dead wood or something, right?
Yeah.
I kind of, I don't like admitting this, but I chopped down 2 trees out in the woods so my plants would get sunlight, and I think that's maybe what attracted them, but I don't know.
You're thinking maybe you took their home, so they took yours,
or just that wood, just that dead tree was right next to my spot. Maybe it attracted them. I don't know, but they were in there. Only 2 of them had it though, thank God. And
nothing wrong with chopping down a few trees. That's what sucked. Last time we grew outside, that's what happened. I actually cut down a bunch of branches, opened up a big space. Halfway through, it was all filled in again, man. And it was like, I was seeing people from the railroad and stuff. And I'm like, damn, this spot sucks,
Plus, when you're out there like that, if you don't have some type of barrier, you're gonna get it with the deer population around here, not to mention other rabbits and everything else.
I carried out a fence like a mile into the woods. Like it was only like, a little more than waist high. One of those like long rectangle fence. You know what I'm kind of saying? Like
Yeah.
it was rusty metal old. Yeah, it did
Yeah,
good, though.
yeah.
It kept them out.
Just something like a knee barrier there at that level or whatever. That's a good idea.
I actually use chicken wire on a bucket. Like I just stapled chicken wire to the top of a bucket because I couldn't tell anybody. I was the only person that ever knew about that particular plant. And
right.
I didn't know what I know now. And I used Miracle Grow. The buds never got bigger than my thumb. But hey, it was an attempt.
I think we all done that.
But yeah, I thought that helped keep deer away from my plants. So it was just me and the Miracle Grow to demise that thing. It didn't need any deer.
Oops.
But I grew it in the woods, and just from just the filtered light, it didn't do too bad. I mean, like I said, the buds were as big as my thumb.
We had some that were under, we tried to put them in an open area, and some of it grew in. And I think from the trees growing above it, we ended up getting like these cobweb fucking, what do they call them? Gypsy moths or some shit.
Yeah.
I think they were falling out of the trees that grew above them that wasn't really there earlier on and shit. But those buds there never, like my wife said on those ones, we didn't know they never made it bigger than like thumbnail size, whatever, and they were either getting rotten or getting stolen or getting eaten. And, there'd be kids up the road that would steal them way before they was ready. It's like, everybody,
Yeah.
Outside is definitely a struggle.
You pretty much got to know a spot that is private and no one's gonna.
Yeah.
And then like I said, like the livestock around here and deer and whatever is another.
But that's a good idea.
And then you have pests.
Even if you took like if you want to really get resourceful and just grab like some limbs and shit from out in the woods and make like a split rail fence around there, almost like a mini split rail fence or something, I think you could really do something like that. But you gotta be careful what draws attention,
Yeah, because you want it, like if you're out there, you want it to blend in. You don't want, that was like the hardest thing is I grew in a white bucket and I was trying to be very, on the down low. And I had to cover it with leaves and debris so that there was no white showing.
Yep.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do for stealth.
Well, that's like down. I noticed it was windy every day, and I was thinking, boy, it'd be hard to grow in these flat plains. Like it just seemed like it would be hard. It was wind for a week straight.
Yeah.
Even on a nice sunny day, it's just windy. I guess because it's flat or whatever. But so yeah, I guess it depends. And like we were saying, if you pick the wrong spot, you get caterpillars and shit above your plants, or you get like lots of
worms
bird shit on your plants and stuff, or whatever. And then you got the deer coming through. So outside growing is really hard, man. It takes especially like if it's not right in your backyard. Like you saw Tyler's grow, he had a one thing that I noticed, he had a bunch of number of plants. So that's the way to do it, is plant 12 of them around there instead of trying to grow 3 big ones in the same area, That way, if you lose 3 or 4, you still got something to make it worth your while.
Yeah, but I did way better after that. Here, I'll screen share one more time so you can at least see some of the. So this is going to be the same spot, a different year. And
now, was that the same spot with the bees? Is this all the same area?
Yeah.
That's looking great, nice. Dude.
The ones with the termites was in a different spot, but this is where those little ones were. The little ones. It was in this area. And
those ones there aren't little, man.
Nice.
Like, and this one I brought in. I dug a hole. It's like the whole entire underneath is good dirt. It wasn't just spot. I dug a pretty deep trench and put in real good dirt, and you could see the difference it would make. Yeah,
because it really gets a good footing under it, in your good soil, and then look how nice all those tops are.
That's beautiful.
I just strung some of that green tape to hold them up as best I could.
You
But
did a good job.
This is a pretty good year, I'd say.
Now, are you still growing in that? I mean, you don't have to tell us in that space. You still grow anything outside right now in that kind of like?
I want to go. I'm going to go out there. Oh yeah, you can see I started harvesting some over here. Yeah, I plan on eventually. I'm going to put some out there this year. I haven't gone out there yet. I've been.
Yeah. I saw a big puff of smoke go by.
Yeah,
you must have been torquing down on a buckhorn.
Smoking a joint up, looking at my babies. And yeah, like
nice.
When the shit goes good outside, dude, it is so good. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they have a different look to an outside plant. You're right. There's something really, I know it sounds stupid, but like that naturalness to it. You know what I mean? Or something. It's almost like a plant looks really pretty under fluorescent lighting. And it almost has that kind of, those are really stacked, man.
This is good lighting because it was overcast, kind of. But yeah. It is amazing. But yeah, like even those ones that weren't didn't have the best life, that shit was still good weed. I mean, there were little plants, but the shit was good still. But yeah, this is really what you want. Yeah, you see the wind blow too.
That's nice.
Oh yeah. Those ones there definitely.
That's sweet.
I took a couple down
for support. What strain is that, Tao?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. I think this might be the time rack.
Time rack?
Yeah, I think these last ones were the time rack, which is blood wreck by Vortex from Subcool.
Ah, Subcool. Nice. Some weed nerd weed.
Yeah, dude. That's
beautiful.
They are nice. Now,
I bet the smell, like just blowing, if you were downwind, would just be marvelous.
What do? You go out there and top those, man?
I don't remember what I did.
That's not growing. That doesn't look like a naturally growing plant. It looks like they've been topped at least once.
It looks like they've been topped.
Yeah, I must have topped them at least once.
That's the way to go, though, because it really has a nice spread.
Yeah. All right, now it's all the same one, so there's nothing new to see. But yeah, that did pretty good. But you can see, like right there, there's something that's foreign object on it, just from the wind blowing, whatever. Yeah. That's another thing with the first time I saw bird shit on the leaf, I was freaked out. I like never even thought about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens.
Well, of course, and like you said, the wind's blowing, you're gonna get just debris or whatever,
leaves,
dirt.
Yeah.
So let me ask
twigs.
Let me ask you this, Tom. When you're taking care of, like, say that last batch of plants there,
right.
how often do you go out there to really take care of them? Like, say, to top them, to check them for mold, to maybe take some leaves off, or while they pop them or whatever, put some stakes in. You think, like, what's the biggest gap of time that you feel safe going with, Well, and like that's a gorilla grow, right? I mean, if it was at that time, anyhow.
If it doesn't rain, I have to go out there. If it doesn't rain for a certain amount of time, I have to go out there with water. So that's the worst part. I remember, like, it just started downpouring one day. I was like so happy. I was like singing in the rain because I didn't have to run out there with water.
Oh, nice, man. Just like my garden in the backyard, man. If it goes 3-4 days and really hot weather, no rain, I got to get out there and water. But the same with you. I'll look out and see it rain, and I'm thinking, I just bought myself a couple days,
Yeah. When I did the really big one, the one where I took out the termite plants, I had 60 out there. I would go out there every weekend, and
that's what I was thinking.
Two 5-gallon jugs of water. Like the office water things that you turn over. Yep, I would carry 2 of those out there with me. Yep, I would carry. I would drive out there with the car, run the shit into the woods. Then I would come home, get on my motorcycle, drive out there so I could drive the motorcycle into the woods, so no one would see a vehicle outside on the street. And then I would walk the shit back out there. Yep.
it's like doing a gangster handoff, you know. Meet
Yeah,
me
dude.
here.
So, but not gonna lie, that spot I did for like fucking a long time, man. And then one year, apparently some hunters probably came across it because I went there. The fence was gone. Like I had a fence there, and I had this like little. I had a thing where I had stashed in the side, you know, a tote, like.
Yeah.
With supplies in there. And as I actually had a bale pro mix on my shoulder. I was carrying up to the spot. And I see one of my pails on the path. And I was like, oh fuck. So I kept I kept going, you know. I don't know. I was like, oh fuck. So I kept going. And when I got there, I realized someone had found it and they took the fence down, they took everything. So I just turned around and I just never went back. I dropped that shit. I left the dirt in the woods, bro. I just never went back.
Yep. They kind of sent their message and it was well received. Huh? I'm the fuck out of here. It's all you, man. It's a shame.
I don't know if they would have planted a trail cam on there.
Yeah, but even then it would oh well, that's what I thought, you know. Who knows, right? They could have put a trail cam up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like that sucks, but you're right. That's one thing you have to think about, especially nowadays. Maybe not so much 10 or 20 years ago, but
yeah,
that's pretty. The trail cameras are everywhere.
And what someone else was explaining, he has a couple pilot buddies. I think it was out west though, like Cali or Oregon, and they would get people. They would rent the guy for the day to fly over and search for plots to rip off.
Oh man. That's bad news.
Yeah, that's some bad karma.
Bad karma right there.
Yeah,
but with that,
you'd hope that they would get it.
When the drones started happening, my buddy's like, "Oh, you shouldn't go outside. You know, people with drones are gonna find you. You know, going to see it and whatever." I'm like,
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to get paranoid, and I'm not
gonna. I'm gonna go out
there. I'm gonna plant some out in the woods definitely this year.
The world's getting smaller and smaller by the day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Pretty soon you'll be able to Google Earth right onto some of your plants and look at them. You know.
I could see because I knew where it was. I could see the little blip in the woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could see exactly where my spot was.
That's cool what you can do with Google Earth.
Then you can get the coordinates. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell. Like it just looked like it didn't look like the rest of the car. It looked like when you look at it Google Earth, it's like treetops look like carpet.
Yes.
Like one blurry spot, and if you didn't know it was what it was,
right?
I knew exactly where it was, and I could see it,
And a lot of times, Google Earth is like 6 months or a year. They took that picture 6 months ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it one day and I'm thinking, I don't even have that car anymore. I got rid of that 6 months ago. You know?
Yeah. But it is pretty cool to just check out landscape.
Especially if you can see the topography, you can kind of scope out a spot and maybe try to
check out our beautiful Pittsburgh city and the Three Rivers. It's a nice view from the top of or on Google Earth. And
cheers to Aldrich, comfortably numb, and everybody else is still with us, hanging out.
Yeah, it's nice to
hanging
out on HumpDazed.
Missed the 20-minute mark, didn't we?
We missed the 20 minutes. You know what? We're actually smoking, so we have been.
Well, I'm token, but nobody
where everybody's blazing, but nobody shouted it out.
That's it.
3 minutes late.
Better late than never, right? We're fashionably late.
I'll take another hit.
Is that a thing? Yeah, we'll take extra hits.
I'll take another toke.
So what's everybody smoking on? Dang, we didn't even call that out, did we?
I don't think we did.
No.
I was smoking on Chimera.
Chimera. Now, what strain is that? What goes into that? Do you know?
I do not know, but this color is so dark that it looks black.
Really? Chimera. How they spelling that? CH?
CHIMERA.
That's half animal, half human, right?
I don't know. I don't know. But that's
I don't
pretty
know,
cool.
but it's so dark that it looks almost black. It's a
Oh,
real dark
that's
purple, like like I said, so freaking dark. It almost, even when you grind it up, it still stays dark.
I'm
I
assuming
love
that
like weed, cannabis like that. Weed that has all the pretty colors. It
Dude,
never ceases to.
I'm
amaze me.
assuming that that's dispensary bud that you purchased.
Yeah, I haven't grown this. I haven't gotten any seeds of this. I don't know if I want to grow it or not.
a chimera is in Greek mythology a fire-breathing female monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail.
Damn. Sounds
Wild.
wicked hardcore.
That's for sure.
Oh, wait,
man.
and there's a second one. It says a thing that is hoped or wished for, but in fact is illusory or impossible to achieve.
Chimera, huh? Wonder which one they were referencing. I like to think of the woman with the head, weird head and fire.
The monster?
The monster woman, yeah. You're smoking some of that. What are you smoking on, Tal? Your own shit or somebody else's?
Yeah, I only smoke my own pretty much. I'm still on the chocolate number 6 here.
Oh yeah. Dude, I gotta say, our Amiasis is put back as literally, and I'm just saying this to blow smoke up your ass because you're here. We have the least of it out of all 3 strains because we smoked it so hard. But I have all the nicest buds in the jars are sitting down there, and I told her I was like, "There's 1 jar for Christmas time, 1 jar."
Yeah, we're
you know what I mean?
saving.
So we kind of have it put back a little bit, but
That's cool. Good.
Yep, it's good. All the bigger buds that weren't really at the top, but weren't really at the bottom. All that good meaty shit in the middle. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I have all those. They're so nice and hard, man. They're cleaned up perfect, and they're just sitting there. You crack the jar, boom! It's rubber in your face, man.
Yep.
They're waiting for it's just waiting for Christmas Eve. Awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, the smoke.
It's gonna be special occasion.
The smoke coming off of that shit is so thick. It's like hash smoke almost, or something. It's weird, and it tastes. It's good. We really enjoy it, and
it's vacation bud too. So we're gonna be breaking a little more of her out.
We're coming up your way towards Lake Erie. We'll be right by New York, anyhow.
Yeah, we're gonna head up that way.
It'll be fun, man.
Our wedding anniversary. We'll be married 1 year on June 21st. So
we got 6 days.
We gotta break some out for that day.
That's so cool. You guys did it on the is it the summer solstice?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
You go, guys. Nice.
We was going to do it on 420, but we had our family had to be places, so we ended up doing it at noon. But we was going to try to do it at 420 on the solstice.
420 on the solstice.
But we did take time to stop at 420 and jump on Coco for cannabis, and we had like 50 of our friends there waiting to congratulate us, and we all hung out and chat and smoked down and posted pictures, and it was a lot of fun.
That was fun, and it was really
it was like
awesome.
It was during COVID there, last year, so it was nice to be able to share that with people. And
so as far as anniversaries go, is the first year paper? Because I'd like to get a big old paper and roll a hog leg, and that'll be our paper celebration.
Yeah.
Does that count?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely count.
A card counts. Just get him a card.
I was going to give her some origami. I was going to fold something up.
Origami.
Yeah, I was some origami. It says paper. Paper to me is money, cheddar, cash. I give her $100 bill. I'd be like George on Seinfeld. I'd give her $86.50. There's paper.
That's funny.
Yeah, should have some fun, but yeah. Right now we're smoking the Matanuska Thunder. We have Matanuska Thunder #1 is much better than Matanuska Thunder #2, which ran for 10 days longer. They were from seed, so they were growing right beside each other. So take that for what you want. But Matanuska Thunder #2, plant #2, is I only enjoy it maybe as half as much. Now it does have 10 days less cure on it, but I don't see it changing all that much. I could be wrong, but I think the first one was better than what this one is at this time, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem to be coming along as nicely. Now it may come around, but it's got the same kind of profiles and stuff that just doesn't seem to be as strong. And you know, that's what you get with variation with seeds. But
well, that's exactly like my green crack is.
Yeah, exactly like you mentioned.
My big one, my bigger plant does not seem to have the taste or the smell that the smaller plant did. The smaller plant is actually a lot more tastier than the bigger one right now. And they were harvested 3 days apart.
You know, what's weird is the bigger one for us is the tastier one. And it was the one that was done first, but it was the one that was a runt and had a helmet head, and it grew like 5 inches. And I was waiting for it to just come off on its own. I kept getting it wet. And all of a sudden the plant just collapsed and fell over. And like, it was totally wrapped around the cup, and the head was hanging down. I'm like, oh, this thing's done for. So I went and got a pair of tweezers and shit, and I did the surgery and kind of turned it towards the light, and I'll be damned, man. Like, I thought for sure that I moved it too much and broke something or whatever. But at that point it was all or nothing.
And it actually come back. I was actually shocked, because when I looked at it all laying over and limp like that, I turned around and walked out of the room. I'm thinking that's dead. So have one less plant. Oh, well, you know.
And I cleaned it up, man. I got the head off. I got that little membrane pulled off. And as soon as I did that, they kind of sprung open. I turned it towards the light, gave it a little fertigation solution. And within 12 hours, it started standing up on its own. I was like, holy shit. Like, here's the real deal. Out of like maybe a dozen plants that I've had to do that kind of surgery on, I think only 1 or 2 of them lived, and they ended up being runts. So this is the first one that I did that invasive of a head removal, I guess you could call it. People are probably laughing at us like,
hey, but you know what?
It was so cool
to
be able to see that.
What's interesting about that plant is it actually overtook the size of the other plant and became the bigger of the two. Yeah.
And it was the runt of the starting out.
It started out being a runt, but like that just goes to show you, when you have a plant that struggles in the beginning, man, this plant then took off, and she is what we're smoking now. And I am grateful that Smart did the surgery.
Yeah.
And
you know, like the good Dr. Coco pounded into my head many times that all early life stressors impact your final product, whether it be good or bad, you know, and it's going to impact the grow in some way. Just like, you know, that's who makes you who you are. The things that you eat, the experiences you go through and shit, they impact you in some way or another and make you who you are. So it just goes to make sense that it kind of works in that same, you know, that might be a loose interpretation, but you know, see what I'm saying, you know?
So you're saying like I'm a
that might have helped it. I'm saying maybe that early life stressor helped it, like produce some hormones or something that I don't really know how that works, you know. And
it was definitely a stressor that did maybe some good.
Mm-hmm. But
because it did.
Anyhow, I was really proud of that surgery and that plant coming back, and to be able to watch that, I still find shit like that amazing. Here, even 7 years in growing, I still all that shit. Still, I love to get in there all the time. And when I see anomalies like that, or like that fasciation we had,
that was incredible.
I was on that every day.
You know, it's every grow is a new learning experience, and it just 7 years of growing went by so quickly. I feel like we're still.
Look at Kyle's outside grow.
It never ceases to amaze me, man, how that little seed, and then you grow it out, you know, it makes a plant, and you dry it out, you smoke it, and it gets you freaking.
Yeah.
It never ceases to amaze me, man.
Well, here we are this far in. I've listened to how many shows with you, Tal, over there on Cheap Homegrown, and I've never heard of potworms till today. That's something I'll always remember now. Seriously.
Yeah. And even stuff like when you're like, I've heard of the fasciations and the different things.
World foxtail.
And
right, you see pictures and stuff, but
it's freaking wild.
The world phyllotaxies and all the different shit. Like we were mentioning galls. And I found a bunch of bumps on my leaves, and I think it was Chef OMJ was the one that came through and was like, tell me what they were. And he said, if you don't see any insects, they're probably from either damage. It could be just simple as you bumping your leaf while you're watering and kind of hitting it and smashing it or whatever, and it can grow that little gall. And I'm like, damn. So it was like a bunch of different reasons why. I found like 3 or 4 of them, never found a bug or any more. And so, we always find cool shit like that. We were talking about that. I come running to get you. Hey, check out what I found,
Oh,
it's not always
that was
mold or-
wild because I'm like, wow, we were fairly new to it.
Yeah,
And that was a long time ago.
Association, man. It didn't hurt our buds on that plant. I mean, maybe they could be better. I guess they could be better, but it's not something where I would say, yeah, that really ruined my buds. That buds are fire. Now I will say this. The buds that were on that Amiasis fasciation, the actual stock of it, that was shit bud.
It wasn't as good.
One thing I will
say good, but
we didn't let it cure, but for more than like 12 days or something total. It come out of the canitrol for just a couple of days. We didn't have no buds, so we smoked it. So we didn't get it.
Yeah,
we
wanted
guys
to
are
smoke
probably
it
like,
first.
oh no, we got a whole plant of this garbage. No.
Yeah, no, I was worried, but you could tell that it looked different under the microscope.
right.
It didn't have as much frost on it. That whole one stalk just looked a little different.
It did look different,
But it was such a large plant that there was like big.
That happened to me. I never had the flat stalk like that or anything.
Or like the three. It was a tripod.
I had that like a bunch of times. The trifoliate, the whatever that's really. I don't know what. Yeah,
we let them grow too, man. I'm glad we did because we got some really great buds.
Oh my goodness, it was my lucky plant from the start. Like those were things that I wanted to see.
It's so bizarre how you guys talked about it. You talked about it before.
Yeah, we talked about it the day we dropped them. The day we were dropping those seeds. We were talking, but it is weird. It's like it is bizarre.
Because we won the seeds.
As fate would have it.
Yeah.
Maybe I got
we won the seeds, and then we went ahead.
Yes.
And we germinated 6. 4 of them lived, which was probably our fault. I mean, I don't know. 4 came up, and then out of the 4, only 1 was female after sending them out to Farmer Freeman, and then that one female ended up being it had the tricot and the world phyllotaxy or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And we were like, damn, all this shit's happening in this one grow. Made it quite a memorable grow, and it happened to be our friend, the American one seed. So that rounded it all off to be like, we'll always be able to reference that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And another thing that was cool about that plant is it filled a 4x4 tent, which I find is impressive.
Yeah, it did great, man. With only a 40-day veg, that's where the real impressive part comes in. That it grew like a wild child,
Yeah, she was a wild child for sure.
We set it up to do well, and it did. So lots of fun growing that shit, man. But I would like to smoke more like Chimera, somebody else's stuff, because that really would give us a good lead on what to look for in seeds or cuts,
Yo, Ned Denver said that Chimera was white truffle by the creature. So I guess it probably was that creature one that they referred to it by, right?
Probably.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that
creature
monster creature woman with the goat body and the lion head or whatever it was. I can picture it in my head.
Yeah.
I never heard of the strain called the creature, though. That sounds interesting to me now.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna have to
There's
that shit up.
different names like that.
White truffle times the creature. Yeah.
I heard
white truffle sounds really good too, actually.
Yeah, that stuff does sound good.
Nug meat. Weed Nerd says nug meat. That's
funny. That's a good term. I
Uh,
love that term.
There's a lot of hey, you know what I seen on Instagram? This is something we can bring up real quick. I heard this a while ago. I'm talking a long time ago when we had our HID light. I heard about this on it might have been Reddit. It might have been Grow Weed Easier, one of the sites before even Dr. Coco had a site. So we heard about this, and I'll tell you what it is. It's called back budding. And So I just seen it on Instagram the other day, and me and my wife did it when we grew dos because of my idiotic ways of training. They grew way too tall and they were growing into the light, and they started getting these crazy foxtails. So I brought it up to her. I was like, you remember they talked about back budding? What better time to try it than now? And so it was just weird that I happened to see, and I can't remember whose Instagram page had it. I really wanted to remember, and it's escaping me. But anyhow, what it is you wait until like week 3 or 4, I guess. I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but I forget what week it was. You wait till then you go in and you snip like the last half inch or 3/4 of your buds right off the top, the very tip of them. And then they kind of back bud instead of, they start filling in all the way back down the plant. And I don't know if I think or I should say this, I want to think there's something to that, man. I don't know if it's just a stress response from the plant that you would kind of get the same as if you did maybe a chiropractic or like a super crop. You know how your plant will like kind of send those auxins there to build it up. And because, a lot of people think when you break your stems there that it's going to make the plant bigger. Well, I was told by Dr. Coco again that it does so at the loss of the satellite colas around it. So yeah, it looks like when you break your plant there, it does kind of send some extra energy to there to kind of heal it up. That plant, that bud might get big and hard and nice, but again, it's doing so at the expense of buds around it because there's only so much energy to go around. And that makes sense to me, but I know people still swear by it, and I think it does make for a stronger stem to help hold more weight and all that. But as far as back to the back budding, you guys, anybody here ever try that before? When we did it, it did seem to swell those buds up, but I will say this, they were the most aggressive growing ones before doing that as well, because that's why they got into the light. They actually grew,
into the light.
They grew like 2 inches past the light. And so we ended up cutting, they were growing up between the light bars and we couldn't go any higher. So we have it documented, and then we kind of chopped them back. It's on my YouTube page. But I don't know if anybody's ever done that, heard about it, or believes in it or whatever, but it's just something that I thought of. A Bingus term. Oh, that must be nug meat.
I've heard that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, just recently, like you're saying, through the Instagram scrolls, that topping of the buds.
Yeah.
I never tried it.
Yeah, man. I want to say, this might be ignorant, but I want to say it's like an old school bro science method, but there might be something to it. There might totally be like some scientific shit to it. When we did it, like I said, ours seemed to get swelled, and I was looking at them like, I'll be damned, man. They kind of did that. I can say this, how do I want to say, the foxtails that we were getting due to too much PPFD of light did not return after cutting them and back budding them, but they did quickly turn brown, all the pistils around that area. And I think that was due to the heat. But so I guess part of my point here is I didn't do it on buds that were growing in a totally perfect environment that didn't need that for the reason of, oh shit, it's going into the light. So I'd like to try it sometime. And if anybody out there in the chat or whatever has, I'd love to hear about it,
Like do a side-by-side.
Yeah, or anything else, any other kind of weird training, man. I hear people snapping all their stems, and I'm not really for it, but it's not something I would do, but I can see why people do it,
Well, yeah.
I don't like having my plant all busted open like that. Maybe I'm just a weirdo.
But when we were running that HID and it was super hot, I mean, you put your hand under it, you would get like you could feel the heat, And they were growing right up into that. So we didn't really have a choice. We went in there and just bent them over, grabbed them by the stalk, and like really manhandled them, for lack of a better term. And they did just fine.
Oh, they did great.
They didn't it didn't even skip a beat. The next day they were like up trying to do it again. And
hey, Kyle, I remember saying to myself, and I don't know if you remember this, but I remember saying like it seemed like maybe the buds were harder on them stems. And it might have just been all in my head or whatever, because I wanted to believe or whatever that I didn't hurt them. But it did seem like the buds were just harder on them stems. And I don't know if that has something to do with like hormone response or whatever. But I wish I had more space to do more side by side.
Yeah.
Do more experiments, right? I
Just
wish
shit like that.
Experiments,
Pack
they're
buds,
fun.
do the chiropractic method, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe
Do all
grow
sorts
one
of stuff.
plant natural and one
Yeah.
plant trained and see which one produces more, you know?
Yeah. For, you know, right in front of your own eyes, that's the best way to learn.
It may not be the best use of your life to try some of those techniques, but it would be fun to
It
watch.
would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun observations.
You could learn something, maybe. Yeah.
Then
Could
you
learn
could like
something,
maybe believe instead of just wanting to believe. But you know, I'm with Fox Mulder too. I want to believe sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only way that you're gonna really fine tune your grow style anyway.
That's a good point.
Yes.
You won't know if you don't try it out.
Right.
Oh man.
I mean, you got to experiment with something. If you're not experimenting, you're not farming.
Right. Exactly.
Well, yeah, if you think, yeah, every grow is a new experiment, really. And that's how I look at it.
We try to do different shit. I try not to reinvent the wheel. I've learned that trying to do too much.
Yeah, just a little
Right,
bit
but
of the,
just
Trying to do too much or like, you know, multiple tests at one time. Like, oh, let's try new nutrients and change our
Oh,
fertigation
yeah.
practices or substrate or something. Then you got two unknown variables, which
Right.
kind of seems common sense, but I've done it, you know?
yeah. And you know, I must say that like
But
what
you'll learn
an
something from it.
Yeah.
yeah, you learn from it. And what an eye-opening learning experience having the high frequency fertigation like ramped up to its max. Like we had that pedal on the floor
18 times a day.
18 times a day. It was cool to observe that. The plants responded so well.
Yeah.
It just was
From 3 times a
so
day to 18
freaking
times
awesome.
a day, you know? We was able to do it successfully both ways, but there's a big difference. Like it was pretty cool. You're right. It's cool to see that. But I also a cow. I got my soil's cooking outside,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I've been adding to it. We've been adding all kind of table scraps as far as like broccoli chunks. You know, when you buy a whole head of broccoli, you chop off the stalk. All the lettuce and shit we don't use. Our eggs we don't use. Like I told you before, we put all of our used cocoa with our stems and our trimming, our leaves and shit, our fan leaves, plus
Grass
a bunch
clippings.
of grass clippings. Native soil is in there. I think we had some papayas, peels, banana peel, like all that good shit. And it was really, it collapsed big time, man. It went, it probably fell like 6 or 7 inches just recently, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool getting that cooked up.
It seems to be happening on a rapid rate. There was worms all through it when we was turning it around. Now I did find some like mold, white mold shit growing on. Like there was we had 2 stalks of corn that we kind of let dry out. We didn't cook them in time. So they went in whole and they seemed to be taking a while, but they had like white mold all over them. There was worms all through it. And I'm thinking, this is all good shit. There was mushrooms growing out of the corner, as well as we saw little like grass shoot sprigs just growing out in different spots, and it's still decomposing. So I think that's good signs, right?
Yeah. That's great signs. My earthworms, I throw in stuff would grow out of there all the time. Like,
yeah, man.
When I threw in a cantaloupe, like there'd be a whole bunch of cantaloupe starts growing out right out of the earthworm castings. And that's definitely a good sign. So it's not too hot for almost anything, seedlings.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
it's not too hot for like a baby plant.
Yeah, if the seedlings are growing in it, that means that it's obviously good for growing, right? Yeah.
Nice.
And, it still has like the native, because I put a couple layers of the native soil that we have in our yard. I figured that's
good
help.
too. Yeah.
Kind of
layering
help.
it.
Yeah, I figured I can. Yeah, right. That way, you just have like you're seeding it with a little bit of dirt. Now that dirt can grow into better dirt and better, or soil, I should say.
Right.
Yeah,
I gotta remember that.
We even took ashes from our fire pit, which we only burned paper and wood in.
Yep.
And we put some ashes on it.
A nice thick layer of ashes went in there, man. Yeah, and then I watered the shit out of the ashes so it would kind of run down through the whole mixture. And Yeah, we had fun doing it. And I told her, I don't think you can really do it wrong, but I'm sure there's ways that you could layer it so it's better. So that's what I kind of did is I put down like grass clippings. Then I threw down like some stems from our old carcasses. And then I put a nice layer of cocoa and native soil.
Perfect.
And then I put another layer of like green shit. You know what I mean? I had
it's a fun way to get rid of the a fun and covert way to get rid of the carcasses. And the leaf matter that you're just not using, like the shade leaves.
And then, you know, we had like 8 different pots.
How long does the carcasses take to break down?
They're not broke down yet, dude.
Yeah,
they're
but the leaves are gone though, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're leaves. Yeah.
They're totally soft and limp. They're like a real light brown, kind of look like a straw color now. And they're real limp. And they had white fuzz growing all through like a big wad of them, you know? And, but that and the corn was the only 2 things that were really discernible yet. Eggshells. The eggshells were still very discernible too. They've only been in there for a month, you know?
Yeah, they're going to take a while, but.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I'm sure it would help if like we pummeled those a little bit.
Yeah, should I be busting those up?
Break them up as much as we could.
If you feed them to your worms, they say to bake them so that whatever slime is on the inside dries out, and then crush them. They crush them.
See, I have a bucket out back and behind the house. So what we do is when we chop up, like today, we made salads and shit. So we had a bunch of stuff, and we took it all out. I just throw it in that bucket, and then you know, like every other day before it gets nasty or anything, I take it back, toss it in there, and just maybe do a quick turnover, you know. And then
it's not bad if you leave the eggshells pretty big. It just takes longer for them to break down, but
we figure. Yeah. Now, do you think I'll be able to use that soil next year if I stop putting stuff in there like at the end of summer and just keep turning it over?
Yeah, I bet you could. Like,
I think so.
Some stuff might not be totally disintegrated, but you could like separate it out.
Oh,
like,
sure. Yeah. It can go right back in for the next season.
It's amazing how long them cannabis stems can last. But if you got them buried underneath like earthworms and stuff, they'll be like I don't know how to say it, almost like balsa wood eventually, where there's just like a structure of it. I don't know. It's hard to
explain. I know exactly.
Lightweight, and
kind of just turns to dust.
Yeah. But
kind of like those cattails. Whenever you get into late winter, you know, you still got those cattails sticking up all around the lakes. They kind of just turn to dust. You snap them right in half, and they're just real dry. I bet you, like I said, those ones there, they got real soft and light brown. So I think they're well on their way, you know?
Yep. You definitely could use that next year for sure.
I hope so. And then, I was thinking like I could always take out in my actual tomato garden and shit, I could take out like a big old wheelbarrow full, replace it with the dirt that we made, the soil that we're making, use that wheelbarrow full as my new seed soil for next year. Dump it in there and kind of add all of our shit to it next year and do that and keep rotating it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my little plan as long as we're here anyhow. But it's a fun thing to do, and it's cool to watch that shit decompose and kind of, you know, I tell people if I had the money and the time and all this shit, which kind of is an excuse, I guess, but if I could really dedicate it, regenerative farming is exactly what I would do. At least I would have a big shit going outside that way anyhow, you know? And it's cool to have like a little piece of that and be able to kind of dabble in it a little bit. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
we kind of owe that to you guys a little bit to expanded our understanding of it and kind of our want to try it out and put our hands in there and get it. Because I was always like, after the Fox Farm fiasco that we withstood for a year or so, that we were like, screw this soil shit, it's not for us. But now that we've learned so much about making our own and what goes into it, it's like a renewed dream of ours to really have that dialed in someday. And
it's
shit
really
that we made
outside.
Yeah.
You know, but if you continue to see worms in there, you know that it's, you know, good.
Oh, dude, I saw worms in there.
I think they say 1 part green, 2 parts brown when you add it to like any compost, pretty much, even if it's a vermicompost.
1 part green, 2 parts brown.
So,
Okay.
like,
That's pretty cool to know.
But it sounds like you
Can the brown be cocoa?
a layer of grass clippings, and then a layer of cocoa would be brown, and
Okay.
Yeah.
like, you know,
Leaves.
leaf
Topsoil.
is brown. Cardboard is brown. Yeah,
Cardboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's what they
Yeah,
say.
that sounds good. That's kind of what I had
Cardboard
some.
is really good because it disintegrates so fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that helps feed the worms, and it kind of holds the moisture in and shit too. I would think, like, kind of helps keep that. Not that it would escape easily, but I noticed that, like, actually, what I did was, and here's a good tip for anybody. I made this mistake is I layered too many layers before I tried to water it down. So the very first time that I kind of went over there and poked around on it, I got right into some dry cocoa immediately. I'm like, man, you freaking idiot, man. You know, so I was thinking what you did is you layered, because I think the first layer I went too thick, and then I did a little layer of water, you know. And but anyhow, it's been fun so far to get it started, and now I've rectified that by turning it over and watering it, turning it over, got everything buried again. It seems to be doing good. It's a lot of fun, man. But I know we're down to only 5 minutes. I better shut up, huh?
Yeah. You know, I did want to say Toasty's Burn came on the show, what was it, last Wednesday. He has a super soil that he got cooking up over there. And he's gonna come back and let us know how that works out. And I think that's pretty awesome. Like, I'm excited to see, you know, how that's gonna go, like, for him, because I feel like that could be our future. Something that we're creating right now in the backyard just is fun. It could be, you know, implemented in our garden, maybe. Yeah, he still had some work to do on that, but it was like a 75-gallon pot. Is that what it was? It was maybe not 25, 75. I can't remember. It was big. Hopefully he'll stop back. With the couple minutes we have left, I wanted to mention to everybody once again, in 4 minutes, Dr. Coco will be live on Candied Amber Farms on Instagram. We're trying to get a few people to head over there and, you know, show some support. So we posted the link earlier in chat, and if you're still listening, head over there. There's Weed Nerd. He's awesome for doing that for us. We're gonna head over there, and we love all of our chat friends that come by and hang out, smoke with us. We love, especially love all the guests that come on, like last week, and then this week Tal was nice enough to come on and show us all new pictures, purple plants and outdoor grows, and just what you were showing us about those worms, and invaluable. That was cool information. Tal, I don't think you realize how much.
That was something I hope I never see again.
Not in person.
Yeah, right. But you know, if I do, I'll know what exactly I'm dealing with, because, you know, you did it. You dealt with it first.
But that's why like now, like I said, I'll start my seeds in paper towels. Like, I'll soak them in a shot glass of water, then I'll dump the water out onto a paper towel, and I'll wait for the roots to come out pretty good before I put them in any kind of soil, because I bet you if they were, like, you know, 3-4 inches long of a root, they probably would have grew. You know, those little worms wouldn't have been able to take them out. I don't even know, but yeah, that's my take.
But what if you added like a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in with your water? Would that basically stop that from happening?
You know, I don't know. I've done experiments when I had spider mites. I sprayed them with the 3% straight hydrogen peroxide, and that didn't kill the spider mites. So, but you know what? Those things look kind of mucusy. I bet you it would kill them. I don't know though. It's tough to say. I mean, some of that shit's so resistant, man. But I think at the right concentrations, it would fry their outsides. But you know, that's something definitely. I just learned about the pot worms today, and I was going to say, I think a couple of your visits, Tal, you know, I want to say we've never, maybe we have, I can't remember, but we've never really, we've had him on as a special guest only. And just from that day, even today, all this shit, remember him and Smiley came on. Yeah, they came on. That's what planted the seed that wanted us, propel us to wanting to try these things.
Yeah.
But all the shit you
Yeah,
bring to
that's
the
our
show, man.
organic show.
Yep, all the shit you bring to the show is very gives us good content, man. I appreciate that. And that's right, Puffy. You set that up for us. That's why I forgot. So
That's right.
shout out to you for that. But yeah, we're at the 9 o'clock time. Maybe
Everybody head over to see Doc, and be sure then to catch the Let's Be Buds. You'll be able to watch that.
and we'll see you
Give
Sunday.
them a like. And yeah. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. Grow love.
Oh, I was muted. Yes. Peace out, chat. It's always great being here. Smart, crispy, puppy. And yeah, let's go hang out with Doc and see what he's going to talk about with Candied.
Yep, sure thing.
Oh yeah.
Daga.garden to get some seeds from Tiles Garden. Check them out. Keep when they get updated with seeds, if they're out, keep looking. So
Yeah.
all right, man. Thanks. We'll see you.
Peace out,
Thanks,
everybody.
Puffy.
All right.
Awesome hanging out with you, Puff.
Everybody.
Grow love, everybody. All righty.